Hello, Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Hope you're all safe, sound, and healthy. And as promised, I said I would be back if there's actually something worth talking about. I think this is worth talking about. Actually, there is one subject that for some weird reason, I kept on and on forgetting to talk about, and that is Iman Mazari's, unwarranted arrest, which occurred about, I think it's now 2 to 3 days ago. As usual, the police just barged into her house in the middle of the night, and they grabbed her and took her. They didn't even let her change, so she was basically in her PJs. And they said, there's a trial in the middle of the night. There's a trial, really. If In case you've forgotten who Iman Mazari is, Iman Mazari is basically the daughter of Shiri Mazari, who was our former minister, and during Imran Khan's tenure. And she's also a lawyer, and she is the same lawyer who actually, fought to get her mother out of an illegal arrest, if you remember. And now the thing is that Iman Mazari's got kidney problems, and on top of that, she's announced a hunger strike in protest. So things are getting a bit, complicated there. And then, as we know, the trial, regarding the fake the fake charges on Imran Khan. The Supreme Court is, dealing with it. But I don't know. I'm sorry, but why is the Supreme Court taking so much time to grant him bail and to throw the case out? I don't know. As you know, I've actually blamed the Supreme Court for letting Islamabad High Court take the cases, despite the fact that it was very clear that Imran Khan was first kidnapped from Islamabad High Court very conveniently, and he was also, his cases were also basically not heard properly in Islamabad High Court. So there's a lot of hanky-panky going on in Islamabad High Court, and the people, as well as Imran Khan's lawyers, have already time and again mentioned the fact that they are not happy with the judges in the process. And yet Supreme Court, for some weird reason, kept on dumping those cases on Islamabad High Court. And now the Supreme Court's woken up and is pretending to take care of it all. But again, I'm saying pretending because I don't see any progress. I'm sorry. They suddenly announced trial for Imran Khan within 24 hours, and then they announced that the trial was suitworthy, and then the charge basically against him was suitworthy, and then they announced the decision also, all within 24 hours. This is what happened in the Sessions Court under Judge Dilawar, who was on the record a biased judge. And yet the Supreme Court is taking so much time just to throw the bogus case out, which the whole world, actually, not just the Pakistan Bar Association, but the legal circle, the global legal circle, it has questioned this process. So why is the Supreme Court taking time? I don't know. So, I mean, I don't have any faith in the Supreme Court, really. I know people do, but I seriously don't, because I think once it has been established that the law is not being implemented, then, to hell with it all. The other most important thing, which is why I basically picked up the podcast today, is that finally the people are boiling over. Because, as I said, I mean, one of the things that really peed me off is how the people were still somehow waiting for some miracle to happen. Yes, there are protests going on. Yes, there are rallies going on. But as I said, this is not going to make a difference. What should make a difference is if the people actually come out and vehemently protest against the establishment, the army, and the illegal government and the system. And finally, the people are doing it, because this is something we did once before, as I said once in one of my episodes, that, when we came out, we were basically boycotting the utility bills, especially LESCO. Because remember one thing, whenever the government or the establishment is about to do something big, something really big that needs finances, then they start stealing money, first and foremost from us, through electricity bills. And now they're doing it again. As we know, they have artificially increased the prices based on US dollars. They've artificially increased the US dollar rate itself, because believe me, America's dying, and yet US dollars are, it's increasing every day. It's impossible. It's all artificial. It's all superficial. And obviously it's to make countries like ours suffer. And then, because of the dollar rate, everything else increases. As we know, subsidized items also increase. Your daily life, regular facilities, they all increase because petrol increases, and then oil increases, and then gas increases, and then everything increases. So, and obviously, for some weird reason, the electricity has to be affected by that too. So finally, the people are now out, and they are enraged. This is not a normal protest now. It is a pretty aggressive protest. Both in Lahore and Karachi, people have taken to the streets. And in Karachi, though, kudos, man, kudos. In Karachi, they've actually beaten up the K Electric people, and I think they deserve it. Sorry, I have no sympathy for them. I don't care because, if K Electric and if Lesco, these are the, Karachi and Lahore electric supply companies. If the electricity supply companies, the point is that if they are not going to, you know, put a lid on constantly illegally raising the prices of electricity and illegally charging us. Many of us who don't even consume their electricity are paying bills. There are those who actually don't even have electricity and they're getting bills worth of 1 million rupees. I mean, what is that, So people took to the streets. They protested against the heinous amount of bills, as opposed to the fact that we're not even getting electricity most because there's a load shedding and stuff. Although nowadays, for a few days, come to think of it, there hasn't been much of a load shedding, but you never know. Usually, as I said, I'm one of those who actually we produce and consume our own electricity, so we never know really when there's a load shedding, unless it is exceptionally long or it's very, very frequent. So if there's load shedding during the daytime, usually we are unaware of it because we're using solar. So, but the point is that I am extremely aware of load shedding when it happens, especially when it happens in those times of the days when you get extremely affected for some reason or the other, or at night. But nowadays, at night, at least, we're not getting load shedding. But during the daytime, for the past 2 to 3 days, it has been peaceful. So let's see what happens, but the bills are atrocious. The bills are absolutely atrocious because, as I said, we produce our own electricity, and yet every single day they keep just increasing the rate per unit, and they are buying electricity from us. Remember this: the government is buying electricity from those of us who have solar, and yet we're still paying bills. So this is how they're basically looting us. And because of that now, because of their atrocious behavior and because of their corruption, the people have now finally erupted. And I'm saying erupted because it is a near violent situation here, especially in Karachi, where I said they actually took to beating up the staff of K Electric. And in Lahore, they haven't yet beaten up anybody. But I do suggest that, like last time when we boycotted the bills, I think this time we really need to 100% boycott the bills, although most of us have already paid because we don't have a choice. But as I said, we did it once, we can do it again. I remember that at that point, many people went and burnt their bills in front of the Lesco building as well. So yeah, I think that is coming back. That is going to happen again, in both Karachi and Lahore, and then other cities will start. So things are going bad to this extent, which is a good thing actually, because as I said, the only way we can get rid of these Neanderthals, these idiots, these morons that are sitting on top of our heads and making life miserable, all because they've been paid by their master, the US. As I keep on telling them, go to the US, go lick the asses of your masters, do whatever they want in their own country, but just leave us the hell alone. So yeah, there is an eruption finally, and I think people are now finally realizing that, okay, there are no miracles coming our way. Imran Khan is not getting out of jail anytime soon, so we need to get things started. And also do understand that in Karachi, the alleged kidnapping and beating up of the K Electric staff members, is basically by the traders and the businessmen. The people who are in the timber industry, the traders, the businessmen. They're the ones who surrounded K Electric, and they're the ones who are getting very aggressive. They're the ones who beat them up, and they're the ones who have now held them hostage, you can say. So yeah, it's not just the common man and the public, although obviously the common man is out, but you need to understand that such bold steps are not taken easily by the common man. This is always taken by unions. So I guess there are people in the unions who decided to just take matters into their hands, and there are people in the business arena. There are people in the trade profession. There are people in the timber profession who are up to their necks, with these illegal bills and utility bills, not just electricity, but gas is also, for the first time in the history of our country, they have increased gas because we produce our own gas. Again, what does US dollar have to do with it? So basically, okay, now the next question is why? Okay, why the eruption? Why the eruption by the businessmen and all? As we know, Karachi is a business hub. It's the hub for imports and exports. It's the port, and most of the businesses in Pakistan, they moved their headquarters to Karachi, as we know, especially with traders, and especially when it comes to other commercial industries. So why it happened, why the eruption? It's because the due to the atrocious bills that they were getting without any actual electricity. When you have lots and lots of load shedding, and you're not consuming that much electricity, and then every day you see a rise in the bills. Every single month, there's an extra, an extra 10%, for example, or an extra 2%, or an extra 5% suddenly increase in your bills. Then you do get, you're like, what the f. And so that was their what the f moment, basically, today, where they decided to boycott the bill. So they decided that they would boycott the bills, and they were not going to pay it. So the people from K Electric came, and they thought that they would come and they would cut off the electricity. And so when they came to cut off the electricity, that enraged the already angered business community, that they surrounded them, they grabbed them, they held them hostage to stop them, basically, from cutting off the electricity. And obviously the K Electric people now want to sue them, for assault and all. But I think, first and foremost, it's the public who needs to sue these people for illegally increasing our bills every single month. That's what I would say. As I said, listen, this is not a normal situation. These are extenuating circumstances, and in extenuating circumstances, I think he who talks about peace and love is a fool. Okay, a revolution does not come from peace and love. Toppling of an illegal government does not come from peace and love, and as we can see, 16 months is a testament to that. The past 50 odd years is a testament to that. The only way we can get rid of cockroaches is by killing them. It's as simple as that. We need to get them out of here forever. We need to remove them from within this country forever. And there's only one way to do it. And everybody has tried, the peace and love way. And as we can see, it just made things worse. There's only one way, and that is the aggressive way. I'm sorry, but that's how it is. And the public is also beginning to see that, yeah, there is no other way. And apart from that, now when it comes to the normal people who are out in the streets aggressively protesting, you will find women also. Women are out in the streets protesting, and mashallah, say we've got our ex-prime minister, illegal prime minister Shahbaz Sharif, who has run away to England now after shitting all over the country, because after all, his master, the US, told him to shit, so he shat, and then he left. And now he's saying, oh, don't talk to me about Pakistan, I have nothing to do with it. Oh, you were just dying to steal from everybody here. You were dying to be the prime minister here. What was that all about? Patriotism much? Again, you need to understand why. As I said last time, even we were forced to burn down our bills, which the people of Lahore did, especially in front of the Lesco building. And this time also, people are burning down their bills in protest. People are setting fire to the bills that they've got of both electricity and gas. In fact, I think it is better to burn the bill down rather than to try and kill yourself over it, because a person in Peshawar, when he saw the outrageous bill that he got, he fell into such a manic depression that he literally almost set himself on fire. And thankfully, he was stopped. But he almost set himself on fire to commit suicide after looking at the bill. Here's another example. There's a person who used only 2 units of bill, okay? Only 2 units of electricity, and he got 3,700 and something bill. I mean, that should give you an idea of what is going on, and how the basically, as I said, every time the establishment is about to do something big, and that something big is something corrupt, this is how that they're up to something when they start increasing your electricity bills. So things are they're gaining momentum, and I think it's a good sign. It's a very good sign when the public finally boils over and erupts, because then it means that it will take just a number of days to reach a conclusion. These 16 months that the public sat and waited, these 16 months have proved very, very detrimental to Pakistan, as we can see. If the public had not listened to Imran Khan, and if the public had just continued to violently protest and come out, and as I said, if the public would have just shut the country down completely and paralyzed the state, within 48 hours we would have been free of this curse. But no, the public did not, and then the public was in this weird situation where they were waiting because Imran Khan asked them to wait, and then they didn't know what to do. And I think Imran Khan really is largely to blame for stopping the public from, because as I said, he just didn't want violence. But I'm sorry, here I disagree with Imran Khan that at the end of the day, violence is going to be the only way we can get heard. And by violence, we don't mean that although ideally we should just bomb the whole parliament and everybody in it, but since we cannot do that in real life, as I said, the best form of violence that we can show is boycott taxes and boycott bills. And most of us have already paid our taxes, thank you very much. But boycott the bills, and then literally paralyze the state. I mean, we've got nothing to lose. The state is already basically shut down. None of our businesses are running. Nothing is working. So just shut it down completely, And when the public shuts the state down, then you really know who's who. And here's also why nobody is going to, sympathize with the K Electric staff. Listen, you need to understand one thing. Government, civil servants, government workers, they are privileged. Did you know that the judges, even the retired ones, the judges, the people in the army, the people in the electricity supply company itself, the people who belong to Lesco and who belong to K Electric and stuff, especially those in higher positions, they get free electricity, they get free gas, they get cars, they get lands, they get money. It reminds you of the past, where the king is saying, "Oh, I'm happy. The so and so noble of so and so noble family of so and so noble clan has contributed so much to the royal family or to the state or this and that, and we are so happy that we are going to award him so many acres of land." That's what is still going on. The government is actually our servant, and yet it's acting like royalty. It's giving lands and money left, right, and center. It doesn't have money for us, but it has money to bribe other people, and to give land to other people, and to give cars to other people, and to take cars of their own. They have money for that. They have money to steal from to steal from the treasury, and then travel and take their friends and family all over the world. on our, it's all our money. It's our money, and they're still stealing it from us. They're continuously stealing from us. So yeah, I'm sorry, nobody's going to sympathize with anybody who works in the civil service, no matter what post they are in. Nobody's going to care about that. As long as you're a government servant, we know that you are privileged, even if you've not yet reached that stage where you're getting free land and free cars, and but you are still getting some privileges just by being a civil servant. And that in itself is enough, because it's our money. We are not able to use our own hard earned money, and you people are enjoying benefits on our money, you know. So if you remember that you're our servants, and that is why we owe it to you to, to pay you through our taxes, then you need to also realize that the master has the final word. you know Keep your place. So yeah, massive protests in Lahore and Karachi, followed by Faisalabad, Peshawar, Balochistan. Throughout Pakistan, the protest has started, and it's gaining momentum. It's gaining aggression. Men, women, kids, everybody is out in the street. That law that they passed, where they said that nobody is allowed to, not more than 2 to 3 people are allowed to gather in public places. That's out the window. It's out the window. People are so peed off now. They're like, to hell with your illegal laws, and to hell with your illegal commands, and because you people are illegal anyway, you have no status, and we have already tolerated you enough. 16 months is more than enough of toleration, and now you want us to, continue to tolerate you? No, thank you. That isn't happening. So people are like, they're finally at that stage where, in Punjabi we say, "Idhar aa na, main tenu te theek kara na, main tenu te phada na, tu idhar aa, main tenu maza chakhawa." So that is what is going on. It's like, just come here and let us have a piece of you right now. So people are now going to, they're going to tear these people apart. As by these people, I mean the anybody and everybody to do with the government. The people are now on a snatch and grab point of view, where they're going to snatch and grab anybody and everybody they see from the government, and they're just going to tear them apart. And I think I'm thanking God that finally it's happening, because when this starts, it means the end is very, very near. Let's just hope it gains momentum. Let's just hope people, shut the country down. That's, again, I will keep on saying, they need to shut the country down. They need to paralyze the whole state and tell them who's boss. So this is me signing out for the Hafiz.